Is it, Marvin? Do you want me to add a little bit more creamer to that?
And
Just a little bit, so it won't be that hot. Tomorrow you'll get to sleep late.
we're not,
Yes, and you can sleep more throughout the day.
oh.
Yeah, yeah, no. Dime. ¿Con qué doctor es? Ah, okay. All right, then, thank you. Dental appointment for my daughter and my little devil.
Good morning, Mr. Benz.
Good morning.
Which cases are you here on, please?
I have two cases, CL 21-1487 and CL 21-0385.
$14.87, and the other one was, I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
CL 21-0385 and CL 21-1487.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Figelman, which case are you here on?
Hi, good morning. I've
Morning.
got two cases. There are 2 and 3 on your docket. It's CL 173542 and CL 183880.
Perfect, got it, thank you.
Yep.
Good morning, ma'am, on the Galaxy. Can you hear me? Good morning, Your Honor.
Ms. Tina, good morning. You can hear me okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. Ms. Tina, let me start with A 0041 21-5 in the interest of Domitila Briseño?
We have Ms. Clemens present, Your Honor.
We have who?
Ms. Clemens.
Ms. Clemens, good morning.
Morning.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
And where is Domitila Briseño?
Right here, sir, Your Honor.
Good morning, Ms. Briseño.
Good morning.
Ms. Briseño, did you file, or did Ms. Clemens file a petition for adoption?
She filed all the documents and I took them to court.
Okay. Ms. Clemens, are you seeking to adopt Ms. Briseño?
You're asking a question.
Yes, sir.
She answered. Let me get the computer closer to her.
All right, can you get the microphone a little closer?
Yes.
Ms. Clemens, good morning. Can you hear me okay?
They're asking you if you can hear them. Can you hear them?
Ms. Clemens, can you hear me?
They're asking you if you can hear them. Hold on. Hold on a second. They're asking you a question.
Ms. Clemens, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Clemens, can I ask you to raise your right hand for me?
It's not working very well.
Okay. Ms. Clemens, do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Was that a yes?
Yes, it was.
All right, you may put your hand down. Is your true and correct name Virginia Clemens?
Hey, that hurts.
Okay, let me
Don't
put
hurt
you
me. I
down.
have feeling.
No, let me put you down, your foot down.
And that hurts my knee.
Okay, let me put your recliner down. So.
Ms. Briseño,
Yes,
did Ms. Clemens file this petition for adoption?
yes, she did, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to need to ask her some questions and have her on the record, but I need a good connection to the audio. I don't think Ms. Clemens is hearing my questions.
Okay, I'll put it closer to her so she.
Okay. Ms. Clemens, can you hear me okay? Can you hear me, Ms. Clemens?
They're asking you a question, Massey.
Yes.
Ms. Clemens, did you file a petition for adoption trying to adopt Domitila Briseño?
Yes.
And Ms. Briseño is an adult, Is that right?
Yes. That's ridiculous.
And when you filed this petition for adoption, did you do it on your own, freely and voluntarily?
Yes,
Are you asking to adopt Ms. Briseño?
yes,
Ms. Clemens, do you have a spouse? Are you married?
They're asking you a question.
no, I'm not married.
Okay. How long have you known Ms. Briseño?
I haven't.
How long you've known me?
Oh, forever, seems like 20 years,
Forever?
seems like.
Okay. And you've always wanted to see her as your daughter?
Do you want to see me as your daughter
Yes,
Okay.
in my death.
and you're on your death?
And Ms. Briseño, are you willing to consent to the adoption?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Let me ask you to raise your right hand.
Okay, one moment, please. Let me put the computer back on the stand.
You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may put your hand down. Is your true and correct name Domitila Briseño?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are over the age of 18?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you know that Ms. Clemens is trying to adopt you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you consent to that?
Yes. Your
How
Honor.
long have you known Ms. Clemens?
Over 20 years, since 1998 or 99.
All right. And have you been her friend and caretaker?
Yes, ever since her husband lived, he passed away 2 years ago. And I always have had a close relationship with him. I would help them out in their house. I would go visit them. I've been with them, for a long time. And after Mr. Clemens passed away, I am the one in charge of her. I buy her all her, what she needs. I do her groceries, and I take care of almost everything. And we have a very close relationship. I visit her every day.
Okay. Ms. Clemens, I understand is under medical care right now?
Yes, she is. She's under hospice care. She
Okay.
has stage 4 cancer.
Is Ms. Clemens oriented? Does she know where she's at? Does she know why she's there?
Oh, yes. Yes, she knows.
She's got no intellectual or mental problems?
No, as a matter of fact, yesterday somebody was asking her for her birthday, how old she was, and she told them, her birthday and everything. So, yes.
Okay, let me ask Ms. Clemens. Ms. Clemens,
You can ask a question.
Okay.
are you
Yeah,
feeling okay?
yes,
All right. Are you asking this court to grant your request and grant the adoption so that Ms. Briseño is now legally your daughter?
They're asking you if you want to.
yes,
All right. And you're doing this freely and voluntarily, Ms. Clemens?
yes,
All right. And Ms. Briseño, do you also consent to the adoption?
Yes,
yes.
Your Honor.
All right. The adoption will be granted. Ms. Clemens, are you asking that Ms. Briseño's last name be changed?
Yes,
You want her name now to be Domitila Briseño Clemens?
yes,
All right. And Ms. Briseño, are you okay with that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Clemens, you have a daughter. And it's okay to tell her what to do because you're the mom.
She already tells me what to do.
All right, I've got the decree of adoption. I'll go ahead and review it and authorize it and sign off on it. And Ms. Clemens, I'm going to wish you the best of luck. You take care of yourself. And Ms. Briseño Clemens, good luck to you, and you take care of yourself also.
Thank you for your time, Your Honor. We really appreciate this, okay?
Thank you.
Ms.
Best
Clemens will
wishes.
be in good hands, okay?
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Court is going to call CL 17-3542 Jefferson Capital Systems versus Amador Bocanegra.
Yes, good morning, Judge. Jake Figgleman for Jefferson Capital. How are you doing this morning?
I am well. Mr. Figgleman, you doing okay?
Doing good. Thank you, Judge.
Good. Amador Bocanegra, Amador Bocanegra, Amador Bocanegra. The name was called out 3 times. There was no response. There is no one out in the hallway. Court will take judicial notice of all documents in the court's file. Mr. Figgleman, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is a debt claim, Judge. It's a suit for a web bank account that was opened in November 12, 2013. It was closed July 22nd, 2015 with a balance of $2,881.41. Their service of the petition on September 9, 2017. There's been no answer. There's a motion for default judgment in the court's file with the default documents attesting to the balance due. And we're seeking a default judgment today in the amount of $2,881.41, Judge.
When did you accomplish service on the defendant?
Service, Judge, is September 9th, 2017.
He was served 2017,
Yes.
and 4 years later, we're asking for a default.
Yes, Judge. This is actually one where we were not the original attorneys on the file. It was we filed a designation of the attorney change.
So should I get after some other firm, Mr. Figgleman?
No, I was just updating you.
Man. Defendant never filed a response,
Correct.
and he was served.
Yes, Judge.
Had I already placed this on a drop docket?
I'm not sure of that, Judge. I don't believe so, but
Well, contingent on that, Mr. Figgleman, because I don't usually let cases go dormant for this long, but conditionally, your default is granted.
thank you, Judge.
All relief requested in open court and in your proposed judgment is ordered.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Figgleman, you take care of yourself.
Oh, I've got your next one, Judge.
Where you at? Where you located?
I'm actually in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah,
Our office is in Richardson though, but I have an Ohio and Texas
yeah, well,
license.
but I mean, we're all under this pandemic and it didn't discriminate against Ohio, so
No, nothing does, Judge. No.
you be safe, okay?
Thank you, Judge. I've got your next one though, Judge, Bank of
Okay.
America.
You got CL 183880, Guadalupe Perales Mendiola, Bank of America.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, motion for default. Guadalupe Perales Mendiola, Guadalupe Perales Mendiola, Guadalupe Perales Mendiola. There was no response to the name being called out 3 times. There is no one out in the hallway. Court will take judicial notice of all documents in the court's file. Counsel, at this time, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. This is a suit on a Bank of America credit card, Judge. It was opened September 24, 2003, and then it was closed thereafter on September 30th, 2016, with a balance of $10,064.90. There was service effectuated in the case August 21st, 2018. There's been no answer to my knowledge, and we're seeking a default judgment at this time. We filed a motion for default with the court with the documents attesting to the balance. It's $10,064.90, Judge.
Again, did you acquire this from the same firm as the last one?
No, this one, no, Judge. We did not. This one was with us.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure if this one had also been placed on a drop docket, but conditionally, your default is granted. All relief requested in open court and in your proposed judgment is ordered. Is that
Thank
all
you,
you
Judge.
have today, Mr. Fiegelman?
That's it, Judge. Just those two. May I be excused?
You take care, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
You take care. CL 191445E Citibank versus Jose Salinas. Crystal Griffin.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Who said that?
Benjamin Gutierrez, can you hear me, Your Honor?
Mr. Gutierrez, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
You're here on behalf of Crystal Griffin,
Yes, Your Honor.
and this is Citibank versus Jose Salinas, CL 191445, set on a motion for default. Jose Salinas, Jose Salinas, Jose Salinas. The name was called out 3 times. There was no response. There is no one out in the hallway. Court will take judicial notice of all documents in the court's file. Mr. Gutierrez, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. So we're asking redress on a breach of contract debt claim. It has to do with the City Advantage Platinum credit card. There's a business records affidavit in the file from Lawanda Chambliss that was executed on January 24, 2019. It also provides a statement from September of 2018 through October of 2018. The defendant was served on June 18th of 2019. There's been no answer. We provide a certificate of last known address along with the non-military, non-active duty military status affidavit. We're asking damages in the amount of $4,871.50, Your Honor.
Having taken judicial notice of all documents in the court's file, having called the name out of the defendant 3 times and not getting any response, your motion for default is granted. All relief requested in open court and in your proposed judgment is ordered. You have nothing further, Mr. Gutierrez?
I have 3 more motions for default judgment, Your Honor.
Well, let me just go on down the list. Are you here also for CL 193897, One Main Financial Group LLC versus Sean Sermon?
I do not have that, Your Honor, but if no one else is here, I do deal with One Main. If no one else is here, then I'd ask for recent.
It's got the name of Crystal Griffin. That's why I was assuming that if you were contacted for the Salinas case, you would have been contacted for this one. You stated to the court that you are not on that one. Default at this time will be denied. Let me call CL 196485 Citibank versus Norma Martinez. Mr. Gutierrez, is that one of yours?
Yes, Your Honor.
Norma Martinez, Norma Martinez, Norma Martinez. The name was called out 3 times. There was no response. There is no one out in the hallway. Court will take judicial notice of all documents in the court's file. Mr. Gutierrez, you may proceed.
May it please the court. Your Honor, this has to do with the Sears Master credit card. There's a business records affidavit from a Sergio Guerrero from November 11th, 2019 in the file, along with the statement from May 2019 through June 2019. The petition was filed on January 2019. The defendant was served in February of 2020 via substitute service. The order was permitted on January 23rd, 2020. This motion for default was actually filed July of last year, along with a proposed order. There's certificate last known address, along with the non-active duty military status affidavit as well. We're requesting damages in the amount of $2,431.50, Your Honor.
Default judgment is granted in CL 196485. All relief requested in open court and in your proposed judgment is ordered. Court will move on to CL 20-0566E, One Main Financial Group versus Matilde Villegas. Are you on that one, Mr. Gutierrez?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Matilde Villegas, Matilde Villegas, Matilde Villegas. The name was called out 3 times. There was no response. There is no one out in the hallway. Court will take judicial notice of all documents in the court's file. Mr. Gutierrez, at this time, you may proceed.
Your Honor, unless the court's inclined to take this via submission, I'm traveling today, and this particular one I needed to follow up with the firm. I have minimal information on this one, so
that's why I asked you if you were on this one. Apparently, you're not. Court is at this time going to deny your request for default.
I am on this one, Your Honor. I'm asking for a reset, though. I didn't have.
You just advised the court that you don't have the information, Mr. Gutierrez.
I have the basic information. I didn't have the whole file for it, Your Honor. But so
I'd rather set it off, not grant it, and let you reset it when everything is in line.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court will call CL 20-0671E, Department Stores National Bank versus Maria Silva. Are you on that one, Mr. Gutierrez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Maria Silva, Maria Silva, Maria Silva. Court has called the name out 3 times. There was no response. There is no one out in the hallway. At this time, Mr. Gutierrez, you may proceed.
May it please the court. This has to do with the Macy's Rewards credit card. There's also business records affidavit to help prove it up from a Christopher Rothfuss. It was executed on January of 2020. There's a statement from September of 2019 through October 2019. The petition was filed in January 2020. February. The defendant was served on February 19th of 2020. Filed this motion in July of 2020. Proposed orders also on file from 2020. Certificate of last known address, same date, filed, and a non-active duty military status affidavit as well should be on file, Your Honor. We're requesting damages in the amount of $2,114.74, Your Honor.
Having taken judicial notice of all documents in the court's file, having called the name out 3 times without a response, your motion for default is granted. All relief requested in open court and in your proposed judgment is ordered. Mr. Gutierrez, you have any other matters before this court?
That is it, Your Honor. But may I ask the cause number of that the other Griffin case that I didn't have?
Why don't you ask Ms. Griffin?
I was just gonna let her know that one of them got denied that I didn't know the cause number of.
You had.
I'll let them know, Your Honor.
You had CL 19-3897. The defendant was Sean Sherman.
Sherman.
And
All
you
right.
had CL
That's
20-0566 Matilde Villegas.
it was the Sherman one, Your Honor. So it ended in 3897, and it's Sherman, the defendant. That was it, Your Honor. I greatly appreciate your time.
Take your time. Be safe, Mr. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a great day.
You too, sir. Court is going to call CL 20-2643. One Main Financial Group versus Ricardo Martinez, Mr. Michael Sullivan Vernon. Ms. Tina, did Michael Sullivan Vernon appear?
No, Your Honor, he has not.
Motion for default is denied. CL 210385E, Discover Bank versus Rosalba Tello.
Good afternoon, or good morning, Your Honor. Travis Spence on behalf of lead counsel, Your Honor.
Mr. Benz, how are you doing?
I'm good, sir. How about yourself?
Hanging in there.
Better than the
Yeah.
alternative.
I got fed up with the pandemic before everybody started letting their guard down, and now that it's picking back up, I'm fed up with it again.
It's mutual, Judge.
Telling you. Mr. Benz, is this a default?
Yes, sir.
Let me call the name of Rosalba Tello. Rosalba Tello.
Here.
Rosalba Tello. The name was called out 3 times. There was no response. There is
Your
no
Honor.
one out in the
Present,
hallway.
Your Honor.
Your Honor, she is present. Your Honor.
Oh, Ms. Tello, I see you
Yes.
now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, Ms. Tello, Mr. Benz is here on what we call a motion for default judgment. And typically that happens when they serve a copy of the petition for you or on you, and you don't file an answer. However, this court will take your appearance today as an appearance and an answer. As such, Mr. Benz, this motion for default will be denied.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Tello,
Yes.
you know why you're being sued?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a lawyer?
No, I don't.
Okay. Are you planning to get a lawyer?
Well, actually, Judge, I was gonna inform the court that that particular account, I have it under Freedom Debt Relief, and it's being settled by them. Actually, I had, since the pandemic, I had some issue economically, and I had to contract them to help me with like 12,220 in debt that I was, and they've already resolved 3, and some of them are in resolution, and the only one that they need to negotiate is this one.
Okay. Well, Ms. Tello, do you have contact information on this outfit,
Yes.
this company?
Yes.
Do
I
you have a
believe,
phone? Do you have a phone number?
let me. Yes, I can provide you one.
Can you call that number out so that Mr. Benz can hear it?
It's 800-655-6303.
Mr. Benz, did you hear that number?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Tello, is there a particular person that you deal with on this matter?
No, sir. It's basically whoever answers is the person that helps me.
Okay. You may want to advise them that you're being sued on this matter. I don't know what kind of service they provide, what kind of expectation they've given you. The reality is that Mr. Benz, on behalf of Discover Bank, has filed a lawsuit. That lawsuit continues. I don't think we've seen the last of court activity in this matter. You need to get a hold of these people and find out exactly what it is they're going to do for you and what it is they won't do for you. And Mr. Benz may want to give them a courtesy call also and talk to somebody about your account and let them know that I don't know if they were supposed to file an answer for you or not.
Well, they had, I spoken to them prior when I got the letter, and they told me that in order for them to contract a lawyer for me, I would have had to apply for some legal, I guess, legal representation, but it would be of an extra cost for me, which in this case, Your Honor, I don't have.
So
I'm just living paycheck by paycheck right now.
you're saying that this company already told you they're not going to handle this case for you?
They told me that in order for them to represent me in court, it was going to be an additional fee. But as far as the negotiation of this account, they will contact Discover Card and try to negotiate an amount so I can pay it off. And then they're deducting from my paycheck twice a month. So I can settle all the total debts that I entered into their program.
Well, I'll be upfront with you and honest with you, Ms. Dale. Some of these credit card companies will work with you on a payment plan, and some of them won't. So I don't know what to tell you. All I can tell you is they have not filed an answer on your behalf. I'm happy and glad that you showed up today. Otherwise, Mr. Benz would have been entitled to a judgment. If they are not representing you as counsel and you're representing yourself, you're free to talk to Mr. Benz and see if he's willing to negotiate something with Discover Bank and you. But like I said, I can't order him to negotiate a payment plan. I can't order him not to seek a judgment in the future. I can't tell him what to do on behalf of his client. But like I said, if you want to try to contact Mr. Benz or if you want Mr. Benz to contact this firm or this outfit, that's up to you. But right now, the default is denied, but that doesn't mean that he won't file documents and motions in the near future.
Okay.
So do you have a phone number? Mr. Benz, do you want to give Ms. Dale your phone number?
Your Honor, what I'm willing to do is give her the phone number for lead counsel and she can speak to him about it.
Okay, what is the name of the lead counsel?
His name is Leslie Sun, S-U-N. And the phone number is 512-218-0488.
Ms. Dale, did you get that?
Yes, sir.
All right, now you're free to contact them acting as your own attorney, or if you want to contact this outfit that's trying to help you to see if they can negotiate without any additional costs to you, you're free to do that. But it's not over. It's not over here at the courthouse. I just wanted to let you know. And keep an eye on your mail. If negotiations are not fruitful, if they don't resolve anything, Mr. Benz or Leslie Sun may be filing other motions and they may require your attendance, okay?
Okay, sir.
And they'll let you know by mail. I don't know if they have an email address on you or not, but do keep an eye on the possibility of being noticed to appear in court.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Benz, your request for default is denied. Ms. Dale, Mr. Benz, both of you be safe and take care of yourselves.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor.
Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Court is going to call CL 21-1487 Discover Bank versus Esmeralda Ibarra.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, I'm appearing on behalf of lead counsel for this matter, Your Honor.
Court has no objection to Mr. Benz appearing on behalf of lead counsel. Is Leslie Sun, the lead counsel on this one also?
One moment, Your Honor. No, Your Honor, it's Andrew Smith.
Motion for default, Esmeralda Ibarra, Esmeralda Ibarra, Esmeralda Ibarra. Name was called out 3 times. There was no response. Mr. Benz, there is no one out in the hallway. Court will take judicial notice of all documents in the court's file. At this time, you may proceed.
Your Honor, this is a case in which credit was extended by the plaintiff for the plaintiff's ass and horse. The defendant utilized such credit. Time to pay came due. Payment was not made. Demand was made. Demand was not met. Defendant was in fact served pursuant to the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure. There is no answer on file. This matter is ripe for a default judgment. My client seeking an amount of $6,983.30 as the balance due. Post-judgment interest at 5% per annum for the Texas Finance Code and all cost of court.
Having taken judicial notice of all documents in the court's file, called the name out 3 times. There being no response, Mr. Benz, in CL 21-1487, default judgment is granted to Discover Bank versus Esmeralda Ibarra. All relief requested in open court and in your proposed judgment is ordered. You have nothing further, Mr. Benz?
I have nothing further. May I be excused, Judge?
Yes, sir. You may be excused. You take care of yourself, Mr. Benz.
Do the same, Judge. Be safe.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day. Court is going to call F 3495-21-5 in the matter of the marriage of Monica Alvarez Gonzalez versus Erasmo Gonzalez Jr.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Preston Henriksen. I'm here on behalf of the petitioner, Monica L. Alvarez Gonzalez, and she is present in this Zoom hearing.
Good morning, Mr. Henriksen. Are you doing okay?
I'm doing well, Judge. I recommend you you and your staff get the third booster. On the booster.
You know, Mr. Henriksen, I was talking to my brother, both of them earlier this morning. My mama is 91 years old. We got her vaccinated probably back in February. And I was asking them to see if they could find out if there's a time recommendation or requirement from the last of this or the second vaccine to the booster. Because I've been hearing that they're saying 6 months. I'm hearing that they're saying 8 months. And with this stuff getting as ugly as it is, I don't know that I want to wait much longer on my mom.
I think I'm ahead of the curve just by about 2 weeks. The studies that I had seen and that some of my family were telling me about said that after 6 months, there begins to be a drop off. And there's so much vaccine available right now that you don't have to call it a booster. You can just sign up for a vaccine and get it. And so that's what I did about a week ago. And I had the typical minor side effects. I had a sore arm for a couple of days. I had a little fatigue for the day I had it. But other than that, I had no significant side effects, maybe a little headache, but a couple of Tylenol or a couple of Advil, and it's no big deal. But now the CDC and the president and the administration has come out and said 8 months, they're going to start giving boosters. So they're recognizing the studies that I was hearing about, that your immunities begin to drop off after 6 months.
Yeah.
And there's no sense in your waiting to have your mom vaccinated again.
Well,
Or for yourself or for your staff. I just think everybody needs to recognize after 6 months, anytime after 6 months, you know, if you want to show them your previous vaccine card, they're probably going to want you to wait till 8 months. But I think that anyone can go get a vaccine right now. There's no
well,
central.
I would like to get my mom in there. And it's been about a little over 6 months for me. I might want to get myself in there also ASAP.
And there's so many different locations. It's not like they're tracking a database, you know, CVS, Walgreens. I went to a pediatrician. To a pediatrician on Nolana, and I got a test and a vaccine same day.
We need to stay safe.
Absolutely.
And stay vigilant.
And
Miss
my client is
Monica.
here. She's wearing a mask, as you see.
Yes.
She's we'll get into what she's doing and why she's in a mask, but
I worry about my grandkids going back to school too young to get vaccinated.
exactly. Mine as
And
well.
our governor doesn't want to impose a mask mandate. And it's like,
Insanity. It's insanity, Judge. And he went to a mass spreader event and got and had COVID, and now he's spreading COVID to all those people that greeted him.
yeah, and Preston, the serious side of it is that I think people seem to think that young kids are going to be asymptomatic, but they're ending up hospitalized, you know, and intubated. And that's not cool, you know.
No, it's horrible.
But anyway, Miss Monica Alvarez Gonzalez, good morning.
Good morning.
You can hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good. Let me ask you to raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may put your hand down. Mr. Hendrickson, in F 3495-21-5, court will take judicial notice of all documents in the court's file. Specifically, I will take judicial notice of a waiver of service executed by the respondent Erasmo Gonzalez Jr. on the 10th day of August and duly filed with the clerk of this court yesterday, August the 17th at 9:03 a.m. Having put that on the record at this time, Mr. Hendrickson, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd ask you also to note that he wrote a handwritten response, which he sent to his wife, and that we've also filed, and it's of record. So he's
I
filed
saw
a
the
response.
handwritten response, and it starts off by identifying himself and the BOP register number and stating, I am agreeing to all the terms of the divorce suit with the applicant, Monica Alvarez Gonzalez. I will not read the entire contents of that handwritten note, but I think I've written the pertinent part. So you may
Yes,
proceed.
Judge. Thank you, Judge. This is our request or hearing on our request for temporary orders. And I'd like to ask the witness some questions at this time.
She has been put under oath. You may proceed.
Is your name Monica L. Alvarez Gonzalez, and are you the petitioner in the case before the court?
Yes.
And are you married to the respondent, Erasmo Gonzalez Jr.?
Yes.
And you've been married to him since when?
February the 14th, 2015.
And
Or
you have been
2005,
separated
I'm sorry.
since you've been married since when?
Since 2005, I said 2015.
Right. Okay, thank you for that correction. And you have been separated from him since November the 30th of 2020, is that correct?
That's correct.
And that's because he's in federal prison after having pleaded guilty to a possession of a controlled substance, is that correct?
Yes.
And you have one child with him
Yes,
and only one child, correct?
just one, yes,
And your child's name is Adrian Erasmo Gonzalez,
yes,
a male born November the 30th of 2004. Is that correct?
that's correct.
And did you and Erasmo Jr. live together in a single family home at 1610 West Israel Avenue in Alton, Texas?
Yes,
And has that house always been in your name?
yes,
And have you always worked? Either been
yes,
employed or operated a business?
that's correct, yes.
And how are you currently employed?
I'm working for Mission CISD. I'm a SPED teacher's assistant.
And you're working with special ed kids, correct?
Yes, I'm a resource teacher, yes.
All right, and you've also had businesses of your own. What businesses are you in now? Are you
Right now,
in the
or
photography
prior?
business? Yeah.
I have a photography business right now and just my work here at school.
All right. And is your home paid for?
Yes,
And did Erasmo Jr. sign a deed to you recently, deeding to you any interest he may have in such home?
yes, he did. He
And
signed.
do both you and he consider that home to be your separate property?
Yes,
And he deeded that to you on April the 20th of 2021 while he was in prison, correct?
yes, that's correct.
Is he able to pay you child support while he's in prison?
Not at this time, no.
Your son is 16 years old, correct?
Yes,
And he has a car and he's driving.
yes.
Do you know how long your husband will be in prison?
I know that he may be released by the end of September, according to him, September the 27th of this year.
That's an early release program that he's applied for. Is that
Yes,
correct?
that's correct.
And you don't want this divorce or any of the court's orders to interfere with his ability to get released early?
Yes, that's correct. I don't want it to interfere with that.
And that's something he's asked for in his letter to the court.
Yes,
Do you want to be named temporary managing conservator of the child?
yes,
And do you want to have the exclusive right to determine the residence of the child pending the divorce?
yes,
And do you want Erasmo Jr. to have standard rights to visit the child when he's out of prison?
yes, sir.
And to be named a possessory conservator so that he has the rights and obligation to take care of the child when he's in possession during his visitation period?
Yes,
And do you you have possession of your home at this time? You and your son are living there,
yes, that's correct.
and you want, of course, a court order keeping that status quo in place until you either sell the home or decide to stay there.
Yes,
And you presently have listed the home for sale and are looking to sell the home and move into a smaller place,
that's correct. Yes,
more suitable for you and your son. Is
yes,
that correct?
yes,
And has he contacted you and asked your husband, ask you to get back together with him as a family unit after he gets out of prison?
yes,
And has he in the past been emotionally unstable when he doesn't get his way and gotten angry, aggressive, and mean?
yes,
And has he demonstrated difficulty in controlling his anger when he doesn't get his way?
yes,
And are you afraid that when he gets out of prison, he will pressure you to go back to him, to live with him, or to let him return home in the house?
yes,
You're concerned about that. Do you want to be protected against him contacting you for that purpose or from confronting you in person for that purpose?
yes,
And you want some temporary orders in effect to grant you exclusive possession of your residence and to keep him, give him standard orders of visitation,
yes,
and to prevent him from communicating with you regarding your child other than for visitation purposes and for co-parenting purposes.
yes,
And you want to keep, you want protective orders to keep him from breaching the peace and from disparaging you to your son or to third parties.
That's correct, yes.
All right. Your Honor, we'd ask that we be granted temporary orders for all the things that we've just talked about. And I'd ask, and we will file a proposed order for the court's consideration to that effect.
Mr. Hendrickson in F 3495-21-5 in the matter of the marriage of Monica Alvarez Gonzalez versus Erasmo Gonzalez Jr. Your requested temporary orders are granted. All relief requested in open court and in your proposed order is also granted. So as soon as you can get it in, we'll get it taken care of.
Thank you, Judge. We'll do that today.
And Mr. Hendrickson, in light of the fact that a waiver of citation was filed yesterday, and your petition for divorce was filed last month, you might want to figure out the 60-day period and maybe call my office and request a setting for final hearing.
We'll do that, Judge.
You
Absolutely.
stay safe, Preston.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Alvarez Gonzalez, you stay safe also, and thank you for what you do with the children.
Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you.
Y'all take care.
Thank you, Judge, and my best wishes to you and to your staff.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We miss seeing you guys in court.
Yeah, we miss having, I had, prior to my civil cases, I had 68 criminal cases.
Wow.
So we're still trying to keep the ball rolling, but I kind of miss the days of having a packed courtroom,
Well, it'll come back soon enough. I think I've been through the new courthouse. I'm a director of the local bar, and I got opportunity to take a walk through it. Have you had a chance to walk through?
Yeah, sometime before the bullet holes on the east side.
I didn't know about the bullet holes.
Oh, you didn't catch that?
I didn't hear about that.
10 bullet holes, Preston, on the east side of the building.
Wow.
I guess somebody's trying to give them the message of, hey, hurry up and get it done.
Yeah. Well, maybe so. They're anticipating a negative ruling in their case, and they're already mad about it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, I think the facility, I was surprised and pleasantly surprised that there appears to be adequate facilities for lawyers to work in the presence of the court. I really like having those little spaces outside the court where you can monitor what's going on in the court and meet with witnesses and so forth. I just think there's probably not enough of them. If you're going to have multiple clients, as everybody's going to want to be in that one room with their client,
Yeah.
But,
One of the things that we have there at the new courthouse is facilities to keep up to 160 inmates.
yeah.
And I'm wondering if Sheriff Guerra is going to get on the ball and say, well, I need an expansion at the jailhouse, but for now, I'm just going to use the courthouse.
Yeah. Well, and I see that there is facility for lawyers to meet with their clients while the incarcerated clients.
Yes, sir. We're going to have 2 little meeting rooms right outside the courtroom.
Well, also, but in the incarceration
Oh, yeah,
facility,
yeah.
they have rooms for the lawyers to come in, and just like they do at the jail, so that lawyers don't have to go to the jail if they can get them there at the courthouse.
Very true. Anyway, Mr. Hendrickson, Ms. Alvarez Gonzalez, y'all take care of yourselves and be safe.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate your time and your help with us this case this morning.
Thank you, sir.